Welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring how Fang Yuan's methods and mindset reflect several of the timeless principles outlined in Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. In this video, we'll objectively analyze Fang Yuan's actions and strategies, drawing parallels between his relentless pursuit of immortality and power and the strategic, sometimes ruthless advice in the 48 Laws. Let's get started. Fang Yuan is a character like no other. In Reverend Insanity, he is a demonic cultivator who uses cunning, deception, and relentless calculation to subvert traditional moral constraints in his quest for eternal life. Unlike many traditional heroes, Fang Yuan isn't driven by benevolence or honor. Instead, every decision he makes is rooted in cold logic and personal gain, a perfect embodiment of power dynamics at their rawest. Similarly, 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene distills historical examples and strategies into 48 principles that detail how power can be acquired, maintained, and defended. While Greene's book was written for the modern world of business and politics, many of its lessons can be found in Fang Yuan's every move. One of the first laws we notice in Fang Yuan's playbook is Law 3, Conceal your intentions. Fang Yuan is a master of misdirection. Despite having a clear, overarching goal to achieve eternal life, he never reveals his true ambitions to allies or enemies alike. Instead, he presents different faces to suit each situation. For example, during his early years as a low-ranking Gu master, he feigns mediocrity while secretly amassing knowledge and resources that later propel him to unimaginable heights. This calculated concealment ensures that his rivals remain unaware of the true depth of his planning, keeping them off balance at every turn. By hiding his long-term objectives, Fang Yuan manipulates situations to his advantage, just as Greene advises in Law 3. This strategy not only protects him from premature confrontation, but also allows him to strike when his opponents are least prepared. Another striking example is Law 33, Discover each man's thumbscrew. Fang Yuan's ability to analyze and exploit the weaknesses of everyone around him is legendary. Whether it's using personal grudges or hidden vulnerabilities, he tailors his schemes to ensure that every encounter plays to his benefit. For instance, he deftly manipulates the internal conflicts within clans and sects, turning rivals against each other. His deep understanding of human nature and the underlying desires that drive people enables him to extract maximum benefit from every interaction. In practice, Fang Yuan doesn't just observe, he strategically acts upon these weaknesses. He might form alliances with potential adversaries only to later use their own ambitions and flaws against them, ensuring that he always retains the upper hand. This meticulous exploitation of others mirrors Greene's advice perfectly, as Fang Yuan continuously keeps his enemies vulnerable while safeguarding his own position. Law 15 states, crush your enemy totally. Fang Yuan leaves no room for second chances when it comes to those who threaten his ascent. Once he identifies a potential rival or obstacle, he doesn't just neutralize the threat, he obliterates it completely. Throughout Reverend Insanity, we see him engage in battles and intricate schemes where half measures simply aren't an option. Whether it's eliminating rivals in the cultivation world or orchestrating betrayals that leave enemies politically and physically incapacitated, Fang Yuan applies a ruthless efficiency that echoes this law. This approach minimizes any possibility of retaliation, ensuring that every conquest further consolidates his power and removes any lingering threats. By completely erasing his adversaries, Fang Yuan secures his position, demonstrating that in his worldview, power must be absolute and uncompromised. Law 48 advises, assume formlessness. One of Fang Yuan's most remarkable qualities is his ability to adapt to any situation. Whether through physical transformation, shifting allegiances, or changing his cultivation methods, He is never locked into one predictable identity. This formlessness is not simply a survival tactic, it's a strategic advantage. By continually reinventing himself, he confounds his enemies, making it nearly impossible for them to pin down his next move. Fang Yuan's fluid identity ensures that even when the tides turn, he is always one step ahead, constantly evolving to meet new challenges. Beyond individual laws, what ties Fang Yuan's actions together is his strategic calculation. Every move he makes is part of a grand design. Unlike heroes who rely on passion or honor, Fang Yuan's decisions are driven solely by a cost-benefit analysis. Maximize gains and minimize losses. This unyielding pragmatism is reflected in numerous instances throughout Reverend Insanity, from the way he manages alliances to how he exploits resources, including the unique cultivation of goo. Even when facing setbacks, his strategic mindset allows him to turn failures into stepping stones, an approach that is deeply embedded in the philosophy of power outlined by Green. In a world where survival often depends on a ruthless calculation of risks and rewards, Fang Yuan's approach demonstrates that true power is not given. It's taken through relentless, strategic execution. To sum up, Fang Yuan is a living embodiment of several of the 48 laws of power. His mastery of concealing his true intentions, exploiting the weaknesses of others, crushing his enemies completely, and constantly adapting his identity all serve as prime examples of how these laws can be applied in the pursuit of power. But he teaches us that power is not about conventional morality, but about understanding human nature, seizing opportunities, and being ready to adapt to ever-changing circumstances. But while his methods may seem extreme, they serve as a reminder that in both the ruthless world of cultivation and in real-world power dynamics, success often requires a willingness to operate outside conventional ethical boundaries. By analyzing Fang Yuan through the lens of Green's 48 Laws of Power, we gain not only a deeper appreciation of his character, but also insight into the timeless nature of power itself. Whether you're a fan of web novels, strategic thinking, or both, Fang Yuan's journey offers plenty of lessons on how power can be earned and wielded with calculated precision. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth analyses of your favorite web novels and their real-world parallels. Leave a comment below on which law you think Fang Yuan exemplifies the most.